Have you ever pondered why, in a world of abundance, many still go to bed hungry? It's a paradox that's hard to digest, isn't it? We live in a world teeming with resources, a place where there's more than enough food produced to feed every person, yet millions suffer from hunger. This is the hunger paradox. It's not just about the lack of food, it's about the distribution, the accessibility, and the affordability. It's about the gaps and the inequalities that persist in our global food system. But there's hope. We can bridge this gap. We can turn the tide on this paradox. And it begins with sharing. Sharing is not just about dividing what we have, it's about multiplying the impact. It's about fostering connections, nurturing communities, and igniting a spark of hope. Food is not just about sustenance, it's about sharing, caring, and making a difference. Let's explore some inspiring stories. Meet John, a retired banker whose second career is feeding the hungry. With a heart full of compassion and a mind for logistics, John turned a small idea into a beacon of hope for hundreds. Once a high-ranking officer in a prestigious bank, John decided to take a detour from the world of finance into the sphere of philanthropy. What prompted this change, you ask? A simple desire: to feed the hungry. After witnessing the harsh reality of hunger in his city, John decided to take matters into his own hands. He opened a soup kitchen, not in a fancy building, but in a humble corner of his city, where the need was the most. The early days were tough, undoubtedly. With limited resources and an overwhelming demand, the challenge seemed insurmountable. But John was determined. He rallied his friends, his former colleagues, even strangers, to join his cause. The soup kitchen started small, serving hot meals to a handful of people. But as word spread, more and more people started coming. With each passing day, the queue outside John's soup kitchen grew longer. But so did the list of volunteers. John's soup kitchen quickly became a community hub, a place where people not only came to eat but also to connect, to share their stories, their struggles, their hopes. It was a place where a hot bowl of soup served with a warm smile could make a world of difference. Today, John's Soup Kitchen serves hundreds of meals daily, a testament to one man's vision and the power of a community coming together. It's not just about food, it's about compassion, it's about humanity, it's about love. In the grand scheme of things, John's Soup Kitchen might seem like a small effort. But for the hundreds who walk through its doors every day, it's a lifeline. It's a reminder that there's still goodness in the world, that there are people who care. John shows us that sharing food is an act of love, a way to connect with our community and make a tangible difference. Now let's journey to the heart of Kansas, where a teacher named Lisa turned her backyard into a haven for the hungry. Imagine this: a patch of grass, a few flower beds, and a tire swing. That was Lisa's backyard, but today it's a thriving garden, bursting with fresh, wholesome produce. Lisa, a high school teacher with a heart as big as her garden, decided to transform her backyard into a vegetable patch. She wanted to do something meaningful, something that would make a difference in her community. Lisa's project started small. She planted a few rows of tomatoes, peppers, and zucchini. As her garden grew, so did her ambition. She added more and more crops until her backyard was a veritable feast of homegrown produce. Lisa's garden wasn't just for her, though. It was for her neighbors, her friends, and anyone in her community who needed a helping hand. The impact of Lisa's backyard farming venture was profound. Families who were struggling to put food on the table found relief in her garden. Every time Lisa harvested her crops, she'd fill baskets with fresh vegetables and leave them on her porch for anyone to take. No questions asked, no payment required. Just a simple act of kindness, a gesture of solidarity. But Lisa's garden did more than just feed the hungry. It brought her community together. Neighbors started to drop by, some to take a basket of vegetables, others to lend a hand. Children learned about gardening, about where their food comes from. Lisa's garden became a hub of activity, a place of learning, and a beacon of hope. The beauty of Lisa's initiative is its simplicity. She didn't need a grand plan or a hefty budget. All she needed was a patch of land, some seeds, and a whole lot of love. Lisa showed us that anyone can make a difference, that anyone can help alleviate hunger. It doesn't take much, just a backyard, a few seeds, and a heart full of compassion. Lisa's garden is a testament to the power of sharing. Each tomato, each cucumber, each head of lettuce brings hope and nourishment. Our next story takes us to the Silicon Valley, where tech entrepreneur Alex uses technology to tackle hunger. Meet Alex, a tech savant with a heart for the community. His story begins with a simple observation, a stark contrast between the abundance of food in restaurants at the end of the day and the hunger that persists in our streets. This disparity sparked an idea. What if technology could bridge this gap? Alex set to work, coding tirelessly, fueled by a vision of a world where no one goes to bed on an empty stomach. The result was a revolutionary food-sharing app that plays matchmaker between restaurants with surplus food and the local food banks and shelters that need them. This app, aptly named ShareBite, is remarkably simple to use. Restaurants log in their leftover food at the end of the day. This information is then instantly relayed to local food banks, shelters, and charities. These organizations can claim the food through the app and arrange for pickup or delivery. It's a win-win situation. The restaurants reduce waste, and the food banks have a new source of meals for those they serve. But the impact of ShareBite goes beyond just feeding the hungry. It fosters a sense of community and connection. It shows that we can leverage modern technology for something as human and fundamental as sharing food. It reminds us that in the digital age, compassion and community are just a tap away. Alex's story is a testament to the power of innovation when it's fueled by empathy. It's a story about how one person, one idea can make a difference. It shows us that tackling hunger doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes it's about seeing an opportunity in our everyday routines and having the courage to act on it. By bridging technology and compassion, Alex reminds us that sharing food can be as simple as tapping on our screen. It's not just about feeding the hungry, it's about nourishing our collective soul. Because every meal shared is a step towards a world where no one goes hungry, a world where we all have a seat at the table. These stories are but a small glimpse into the world of food sharing. As we journey through life, we meet remarkable individuals who harness the power of sharing food. The soup kitchen savior, who ensures that no one in her community goes to bed hungry. The backyard farmer, who donates his excess produce to the food bank. The tech entrepreneur, who created an app that connects food donors with organizations that feed the hungry. Each of these narratives touches on a profound truth. Sharing food is more than an act of charity. It's a powerful catalyst for change. It fosters community bonds, fuels economic growth, and cultivates a culture of empathy and understanding. When we share food, we're not just addressing the immediate issue of hunger. We're also chipping away at the broader social problems that are often intertwined with it. Food insecurity is a symptom of a much larger issue: poverty. By providing food, we are taking a step towards alleviating this problem, even if it's just a small step. But the impact of food sharing doesn't stop there. It extends beyond the individual to the community and society as a whole. When a community comes together to share food, it creates a sense of unity and mutual support. It's a chance for people of all backgrounds to sit down together, to learn from each other, and to foster understanding. On a societal level, food sharing can help reduce food waste, a major contributor to climate change. When we share our excess food instead of throwing it away, we're not just helping feed those in need, we're also doing our part to protect the planet. Sharing food also has a profound psychological impact. It reminds us of our shared humanity, our interdependence. It strengthens our empathy for those in need and our resolve to make a difference. Remember, each time we share food, we don't just fill a stomach, we nourish a soul. So, what will you share today? Sharing food is an act of kindness that anyone can perform. It's more than just providing sustenance. It's about nourishing souls, fostering connections, and spreading warmth. There's a multitude of ways to imprint this act of kindness onto the world. Perhaps you'll find your calling in a food bank, sorting out cans and packets, ensuring they reach those who need them the most. Or maybe you're the hands-on type, finding comfort in the bustling energy of a soup kitchen, serving warm meals with a side of compassion. But sharing food doesn't always need grand gestures. It's in the simple everyday acts too, like packing an extra sandwich for work or inviting a neighbor over for dinner. It's these small acts of kindness that ripple out, creating waves of change. We've seen how powerful food sharing can be. Now it's your turn to make a difference. Start by sharing this video, and together we can end hunger.